Let's dive into a fascinating story about a pair of lucky gold miners. The largest gold nugget ever found was the Welcome Stranger. It was discovered on February 5th, 1869 near Molliagul in Victoria, Australia. The nugget was found by two Cornish prospectors, John Deason and Richard Oates. The men were using simple tools such as a pick and shovel when they quite literally struck gold. Legend has it that Deason almost disregarded the nugget, thinking it was merely a rock. He struck it accidentally with his pickaxe, which revealed the glint of gold. The nugget was unearthed just a few centimetres, less than half an inch, beneath the surface of the ground. The nugget's enormous size, combined with the shallow depth that it was buried at, is extraordinary. Typically, such large nuggets are found deeper underground, making its discovery at just a few centimetres below the surface intriguing. The men could scarcely believe their eyes when they realised what they had found. Their wildest dreams had just been made real. After its discovery, the nugget was broken into smaller pieces to be transported more securely. This was common to prevent theft, but it also obscures what the intact nugget might have looked like. We can only guess at the incredible sight of the unbroken nugget. As it turned out, the nugget weighed an astonishing 72 kilograms, 158.78 pounds. Once melted down, it yielded around 2,284 ounces, 71 kilograms of pure gold. There have been suggestions that even larger nuggets might have been found in the region, but the discoveries were either kept secret or lost to history due to theft, smuggling, or lack of records. The Australian gold rush of the 1800s was a period marked by immense wealth, opportunity, and chaos. Prospectors came from all over the world to try their luck on the goldfields. This led to overcrowded mining camps and towns. Authorities struggled to keep up with the sudden influx of men, which created an environment ripe for crime. Many goldfields were in remote areas, making them difficult to police. Thieves and other criminals knew they would probably get away with their crimes. This led to the appearance of notorious highwaymen and bushrangers. Bushrangers frequently targeted miners on isolated roads, robbing them of their gold and supplies. With little security, miners frequently reported the theft of tools, equipment, and, most critically, gold. Unscrupulous individuals would rob sluices or steal gold dust from unattended tents. One of the most common crimes was claim jumping, where individuals would illegally take over another's mining claim. Vicious fights often erupted over disputed territories. Corruption was rife. Some law officials and government agents were accused of taking bribes or turning a blind eye to crimes for a share of the loot. There were scams and deceptions to trick the unwary. Conmen sold fake gold maps or salted claims to place gold in worthless land to trick buyers, defrauding many gullible miners. Bushrangers embodied the lawlessness of the time, blending robbery and other dastardly crimes with a degree of folk heroism. They targeted miners and transporters such as carriages and stagecoaches. Captain Thunderbolt, Frederick Ward, was a bushranger who operated in New South Wales. He robbed coaches and miners, but to many he was considered a relatively gentlemanly criminal. In comparison, the deadly Clark brothers were known as the bloodiest bushrangers. They led an indiscriminate reign of terror during the late 1860s. The threat of crime created an atmosphere of suspicion in mining communities, with many miners arming themselves due to fear for their lives. The rising crime prompted increased government efforts to establish law and order in the goldfields, including mounted police patrols and gold escort services. But let's go back to John Deason and Richard Oates. What happened to our lucky prospectors after they struck it rich? The nugget was sold for £9,381, equivalent to millions in today's value. However, Deason and Oates didn't receive the entire amount, as some of it went towards smelting fees and payments to other parties involved in the process. Despite the nugget's immense value, the men's earnings were enough to improve their lives significantly, but it didn't make them fabulously wealthy. After selling the nugget, John Deason purchased land near Mulliagill, Victoria, and became a farmer. After selling the nugget, he lived a relatively quiet life with his family and reportedly enjoyed modest prosperity from his farming ventures. Richard Oates also used his share of the funds to buy farmland near the discovery site. He lived out his days in the area, working as a farmer and staying close to the community where the nugget was found. Both men remained in the Mulliagill area for the rest of their lives. Deason passed away in 1915 at the age of 85, and Oates died in 1906, also living into his 80s, a testament to their relatively comfortable post-discovery lives. The discovery of the welcome stranger cemented Deason and Oates as part of Australian gold rush history. However, they didn't gain widespread fame during their lifetimes. The Friends find highlighted the potential of Victoria's goldfields, inspiring more prospectors and contributing to the economic boom of the era. The men's story is a fascinating mix of extraordinary luck, practicality, and the grounded resilience typical of many gold rush pioneers. And what came of the welcome stranger gold nugget? The welcome stranger was sent to the Bank of England and melted down. None of the original nugget remains today, but guessed replicas of the nugget are displayed in museums, including the Goldfields Historical Society in Dunolly, Victoria, Australia. The exact location of the discovery has been much debated, and the area has become a point of interest for treasure hunters and historians. Some believe other significant finds might still lie hidden nearby. Perhaps one day history will repeat itself and some other lucky prospectors will strike it as rich as John Deason and Richard Oates once did. Join me next episode for more interesting and entertaining facts.